Well, good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So it's day number 50 of the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour. RECT, Get Wrecked for Recovery. A 48-state, 4-year ride for addiction recovery awareness. Each day I pedal for someone who's passed away from addiction, and the whole end goal is to build a rehab. And this is state number 37, North Dakota, on the ride to RAGBRAI 2022. A 4,500-mile loop around the Midwest, Ohio to Erie Trail, Michigan's Upper Peninsula, Glacier National Park, Yellowstone National Park, and east to RAGBRAI the last week of July. And it's all to raise awareness that addiction recovery options are available, that you don't have to die in your addiction. There's churches, Celebrate Recoveries, and rescue missions all over the nation, all over the world, that just want to help you, talk to you, and love you if you find yourself battling addiction. So my time with Loren was amazing. Charlotte made an omelet yesterday morning. Golly, the breakfast was so good, bacon. Got to sit there and hang out with them for quite a while. When we got on the road, Loren was like, okay, this is what we want to do. We want to pay for a room for you tonight. And he was going to do that in Bismarck. So we got out on the road. He was like, how much time do you have? And he's been telling me, like, the whole time I was there, I'm on no schedule. Like, anytime I said I needed to work on videos or I needed to do something, he's like, I'm on no schedule. You're good. And so I told him I'm on no schedule. So we went to his grain bins. Okay, so Loren just brought me into one of the grain bins. Here's the grain. But I can't explain to you how massive this is. That is just crazy. How tall is this?
It's 40 feet to the peak.
Okay.
Holds like 36,000 bushels.
36,000 bushels. And for comparison, about how many bushels do you think that this pile is?
400.
400 bushels. That is crazy. And so what is this? This is all corn?
Corn.
Interesting.
Cornflakes.
Cornflakes.
Cornflakes. Tacos, shells, you name it.
Oh, this is cool. What's some of the acoustics too?
Yeah. You could, you know, yodel?
No, I don't. Can you yodel?
No.
Okay, well, we're not going to yodel for the channel today. All right, so we came up here on top of the grain bins, and you can see everything out here. There's seeders out here seeding. Nick's over here working on one side.
There's a pickup down there.
Yeah, let me see if I can get the pickup without falling here. You can really tell how high up we are by looking down at that little truck, and that is a big truck. But yeah, it's windy up here. I'm so glad I'm not going to be pedaling into it today. And yeah, thank you for this experience. That's pretty amazing. So that was super cool. Then we went driving around. We went to the highest point in the county, which is a piece of land that he rents or leases to farm on. Okay, so you probably can't really grasp how far I'm able to see. This is the highest point in the county. It's probably loud because of the wind, but it is as far as the eye can see in every single direction around us here. It's just amazing. I can't explain how vast it is without having trees to block any of the view. Like, I can see so far away. There's like buttes. I'll see if I can zoom in on them. There's buttes way out here on the horizon. Loren was telling me that
Probably 20 miles.
that is so cool. Unreal. It's so windy too. Those wide open spaces were crazy. I cannot relate to you mentally how big that is. Then we rode to the Missouri River and got this picture there of me standing next to the camp, don't camp here sign. Loren was like, we got to get a picture of that. Then he took me into Bismarck and we went and saw the state capitol. And then after the state capitol, we went to like the museum that's there, the Dakotas Museum. And got to see some like dinosaur bones and all kinds of things about the Native American history here in this area. It was really neat there. Then we went and ate at a place called Huhat, which was like a Mongolian grill where you get like a bowl of, you know, frozen foods, and like you take it to the grill and they cook whatever you've mixed together. That was so good. And so then leaving there, he was like, look, I think I want to take you farther, like so that you can make up more miles, more time. He brought me all the way to New Salem, North Dakota. We drove, we talked, we joked. Like, he is so cool. Like, the funniness, I love it when you're just around people that like to joke and pick and play and have fun. There's a big mountain over here that says New Salem on it, but there's also this giant cow, and it is like the world's largest Holstein cow, 12,000 pounds, 38 feet high, just crazy. And her name is Salem Sue, and so we went up there and hung out with Salem Sue. All right, so this is Salem Sue. We are in New Salem. Loren ended up giving me a ride all the way to New Salem. We've been talking, laughing, having so much fun. But look how big this cow is. Like, I can't even jump up and touch it. I can touch these though. All right. What a crazy thing this is. How cool is that? And then we came down here to the Arrowhead Motel. He took me to get ice cream across the street before we got here while we were waiting on the lady to come open the place so that I could get checked in. And then handed me a $100 bill. Unbelievable how running into Loren on that roadway just became like this whole weekend of blessing after blessing after blessing. And even more than all of the things that they did, I wasn't alone. I got to spend time with friends, and it's amazing how the gospel can do that. Just unreal. So, thank you so much, Loren. Thank you so much, Charlotte. What a blessing you guys are to my life. I know this is a long beginning to this video, but I wanted to throw those things in there for all the stuff that we got to see. It was just a beautiful day, a fun day. We spent hours, like 6 hours riding around and talking and hanging out. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to know you guys. Thank you so much. So yeah, today's plan is to head as far west as I can. I've got a tailwind. It's kind of coming out of the south, but it's also pushing. So I'm just going to go as far as I can. I'm going to ride all day. Whatever that ends up being, town I can get to by sunset. I think that's what I'm going to roll with. I've got this video to produce tonight. I didn't upload the video yesterday. I even just kind of checked out of Facebook and everything and just enjoyed time with Loren. And so I'm going to kind of get caught up on everything as the day goes along today. Head west. I will be on I-94 for about 20 miles. 20 miles of this day is going to put me on the interstate. This will be the first time I've been on the interstate on a bicycle since Walcott to Sinclair, Wyoming on I-80. So now I'm going to be on I-94. Add some interstate riding to my time. Hills look good. Everything looks good. And I'm just going to push as far toward Medora as I can. I think there's a town called Dickinson, that's like 73 miles away. That would be my goal. But we'll see. I could push past that or I could fall short of it. It really doesn't matter to me at this point. I am so overwhelmed with how far ahead I am now that it's just so cool. So I'm excited. I'm not going to keep the video at the beginning of this video too long. I'm ready to get on the road, and you'll see more of that right about now. Okay, well, here it is. I-94. You can see the long, slow, steady climb I've got out here. Looks like it's about 1.5 miles, and then looks like the rest of the maybe next 20 miles are going to be just big, long, slow, steady climbs, and then big, long, slow, steady descents. So we'll see how it goes, and you'll see more of that right about now. So you're not going to believe this, but I'm riding down the road and there's a car pulled over on the side of the interstate. Like, they pull over, stop. It's Richard and Julie Moore They're from Minnesota. They've been watching the channel for a while. The last video that they said they were able to watch was when I met Nicole and Bob back at Lake Michigami. And they were like, yeah, you know, we've been keeping up with your channel. And they were driving from Minnesota to Idaho and just so happened to be on the interstate. And he was like, I saw the kitty litter buckets and I was like, that's him. We've got to stop. So they pulled over. We talked. We had a good conversation. And they handed me a donation. How in the world does this happen? How is this? Like, that's one of the things that they said about the videos. They're like, we see God show up. Like, the Harem Arms is standing up. They're like, we see God show up all the time. You know, how can somebody not see that and see that it's God doing it? And so, like, I was like, case in point right now, how in the world does that happen? And they were even thinking that I was going to be up on Highway 2, way north of here. Like, there was no plan to meet me on I-94 today, and it just happened. God made it available. That's so cool. Richard, Julie, thank you so much for your love, your care, your compassion, the donation, the time that you spent with me on the side of the road. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with what God is doing on the Midwest tour. Absolutely love it. So, yeah, I'm going to pedal with much energy and strength, and you'll see more of that right about now. All right, so I just pulled over here on the side of the road, got some sunscreen on my nose. But yeah, the buttes over here are really neat looking. Like, they're super tall. I'm really enjoying riding on this interstate. It's not too bad. But I wonder why the glaciers haven't affected those like the way that they've affected everything else. That's the only thing I can't figure out. They're just super pointy. There's several hills around here that are super pointy. But it's so neat to see, like, just, I can't explain to you how far away that interstate horizon is. Like, it is just forever away down the road. So cool. I love the wide open spaces of out west. It's just amazing. Anyway, I'm going to keep on heading down this road, all sunscreened up, good to go. You'll see more of that right about now. Okay, so here's an example of how my days kind of change a little bit. This is actually on the trail. This is the exit I'm supposed to take. All the way between the last exit and here, I've been so pleased with riding this interstate and being so far away from traffic that, like, leaving it's a little bit, I don't want to do it. However, the next town's like much farther down the road and I am getting kind of hungry. So I come up over the hill and I see this that says Beulah that way. Now, I'm not going to Beulah, I'm actually going to Glen Ellen. But I'm going to take this exit. Like, even though I was thinking I didn't want to, when I got here and saw what God was doing, I was like, you know, I'm supposed to go this way. So yeah, that's just kind of a little bit of an example of what's all going on in my mind through prayer and through different things that are happening throughout the day. But yeah, I love that song, you know. Beulah land, I'm longing for you. I love that song. But yeah, I'm gonna head on into Beulah, or actually Glen Ellen, and you'll see more of that right about now. Okay, so I rolled in here to Wet Spot Liquor. It's at the 69 mile marker, right over here on Highway 10 in Glen Ellen. And I tell you what, that is some of the best food that I've had in a very long time. If you're riding the northern tier, it's worth it to just drop like this extra half a mile out of the way and come here. Unbelievable. I sat down and looked at the route ahead with this tailwind. It's 4 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock now, but I think I'm going to go ahead and try to make it another 28 miles to Taylor. There's like a wildlife or Bureau of Land Management camping area. If I don't go that far, it's only 14 to the next town, and that would put me in the middle of the town at a city park, and so I think it's going to be worth it just to go. Plus, I'm at the very west part of this time zone, so the sun isn't even going to set till 9:17 tonight, and then it'll be light, you know, until about 10. But tomorrow in Dickinson, I will be in Mountain Time Zone, so I'll be an hour behind my family again. So anyway, I'm going to get on the road, and you will see more of that right about now. Okay, so those of you following the channel for the Northern Tier, Glen Ullins Park looks fabulous. Like, there's a train car back here in the park. It's all grassland. Trees are blocking the wind. There's a pavilion. There's picnic tables. I don't know if there's showers or electrical or anything like that, but peaceful. Like, there's nothing. The town's way back that way. This is just out here. Well worth it to plan a stop here. I wish that I had. Okay, so yeah, I can officially vouch for Old 10. Don't take the interstate. This is a flat, amazingly quiet highway. I mean, there's cars, but it's like one every 5 minutes. It's beautiful. Like, the stuff that I'm getting to see out here as I just ride through this like open country is unbelievably peaceful. There's meadowlarks chirping. There's like millions of birds around. There's those wind towers over here on the horizon. Like, this is just, it's heavenly. North Dakota, you guys, either you don't need to publicize whatever this is that you got out here, or you're doing a fine job of keeping it hidden from the rest of us. This is like the outdoors version of Disney World. Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the works thy hands have made. I'm so glad I didn't camp in that city park. So if you're riding the Northern Tier, this one's the one. I think it's the Schnell BLM campground. Let me show you some things real quick. So I'm going to zoom in, but there are cattle way back here on the grass, just to try and, you know, give you an idea of how far away these things are. On the horizon back here in the sunlight are some windmills, wind turbines. Way down here in this valley is a barn or a house. And then there's a panorama of just endlessness and clouds. I can see the clouds and the shadows on the ground all across the horizon. I've got this that's about to happen. I don't even know what to say. Like there's nothing else I have to do to end the video. If you know anybody who's passed away from addiction in any form or fashion, please drop their name in the comments. Or find me through the Papa link in the description, and I would love to ride for your person and celebrate their life with you for a day. If you know anybody who's actively addicted, anybody in general, please share this with them. Thank you so much, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. Every one of you that is liking every video, commenting on every video, sharing every video, and those of you that are subscribed to the YouTube channel. The analytics love it. I do too. And who knows, it might save a life. Don't forget, Redeeming Eden is a non-profit ministry through International Gospel Outreach. That link is also in the Papa link. You can go there and find out more about Redeeming Eden and about the Cody Jordan Forever Funeral Fund, which is a fund I set up to help families that lose loved ones to addiction with paying funeral costs. Yeah, 52 miles, downwind. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. This is different. North Dakota is different. God's in North Dakota. Like, God's presence is absolutely in North Dakota. Yeah. From here at the Schnell campsite on BLM land, Bureau of Land Management here in North Dakota, about 15 miles from the Mountain Time Zone. Let's see if I can get the sunset for you. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you later. Have a good night.